the first to know Nsem-Pii.
The embattled Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokuno. The 170 year can Edinburgh Nanope. Then Anopana go down to Nancy. I said, share the Ebobo Bandy a chain. Now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ne power boy, a Mrano opposition say, said the Biano, the Chief Justice, obeying every Abeniano. So, as I dream money way our boy, and no, na a ne Gertrude Tokuno said, at Tamno at no quarter. And nay, you go so air come was him. Now, on the say, continue going blame or more. Name petition upon petition by. Nay, then I would debar who na empo Prof-Henrietta Mensapons, Utie and Sama, a mra case in court or kaya, or see, deminified Drini Amanihu, Emma Oma, Omi amount for because. Do you judicial penny book? Na ye say dear, any amount for dear. They say no individual rights. Quite penny be first be protected because you know ebe ye say man ya home ama executive edi dumi enya judicial bi atanachi ayesa dia any de abobo ba no ebe ye hu akin bibia cause say the case ko court a day and say now was a be a bit because the way I'm packing the system now. A baby, you now good on. You hear some say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you are treading on a wrong note. A idea we an na a arahusem. Any consequence also. Nay, the way a case na sa court no. Now so could judiciary you cry. Say Tokuno ni be a wire. He say. Come here, say, or may Chief Justice Buddha or na rosem na any consequences also. Ningo to go down and mroud in some etugamrasia.
See, so for also, as a man also a cafado tabamuba miaho, or some about mia, and that's why a campaign or bon region Holomontinum. Ye bidi and combo, Aladano. It's the Eric Bacho Yamubo headline, the source. Tokuno to court, prohibit appointment of new Chief Justice, and then Gepa Law School secure scholarship deal with BYU. San was a share. Sir, and say petition go open a buy a bit here, Chief Justice. No, Bakubo go buy almost say is not insuring them into no, you're too green. But also be anti say any too good dear. Amaliba and Wakasa Assembly. It were the source newspaper and what the buy. Yeah, call this one so. This bigger cries out over the weekend on Saturday. No, Saboti, I say, Temago, of course, baby, and comfort the tuner as a kind of ho. I got to busy with land gas a day. Say, at to be gas one of my targeting the most of it's here, no, I don't know. I say, I cannot criticize Mahama now. When ye, I cannot criticize Mahama now. Or okay, Japan. Oh, okay, okay. As they said, one to me and criticize Mahama. Okay. It's in the I don't know. And I say Baumia enters Bruno with what? With grassroots. Okay, Martin. It's Galam say fight lacks sincerity and results. Senor Hosi and I also Ediaba discover and what they buy. Here quite this paper so. The custodian after marking fires minority up. And I say for parliament tomorrow. Nyame much na parliament e be so mo ma kwan into mo bi school inti and na minority for akoyin siemu a o mo akwa dwendwene mo say ye kwin ye hia ho de nya adwuma kama ye eja ye ka say ye mantem mo me nyina mantem na obi anya do betimi aye na efre ne de na wokudru enko inti minority leader Obo Afenyo Markin and you say waso mu nyina in cry no. Dr. Baumia the custodian was say my victory will be for all. Baumia promises unity. My victory will be for all. Baumia promises unity. Amaliba contradicts Puama committee claims on CJ removal petitions. Okay. Eno Kwaku Obey AJ appointed CP's head of corporate affairs. Okay. CP's head of corporate affairs. Kwaku Obey AJ, congratulations. The way the custodian on Pachianko. The news center M10 to deploy blockchain to tackle Momo fraud. Sylvia, EMP pays full $100 million to former owners of Azuma resources. The embattled Chief Justice and I, President Mahama, a bold timupo, a position, so a bar obeying a dino, and pat what was here, ayo, we unity. Eric Pacho made the adibito so mount. Ese a news card be my son the Pacho. Amedasi, Yano Bimka Kreba Mamina, Namashi Quanka bit me, I can kind. Ye. Adi, and there wouldn't be yapa, wouldn't be doing your aha, mo, what say? No, we Professor Henrietta Mensah, ye Supreme Court judge, and now Walkasa, a brave said that a questifua, a see what Attorney General and I say a bino, a war. The attempt to remove the Chief Justice. Now the core, you know, Professor Henrietta Mensah Bunsu. The ruling no mono and judgment to the mono. Adia wa Troyan, baby keep to be na media ba say yen kan yenti. Professor wa be papa. We Supreme Court judge. Na seven no so ruling 3-2. Yenti ruling 3-2 against Vincent Ekwasifua. Yenti kakrebia mamene was it knowing the importance of the preservation of judicial independence in the court's ability to protect the citizen against the powerful in the community. Many are the provisions and safeguards provided under the Constitution. It is not for nothing that judges are required to take a judicial oath to administer justice. In quotation, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. How can the judiciary guarantee everyone's constitutional rights to fair treatment if it cannot enjoy any such right when allegations of impropriety are made against the head of that institution itself? The people of Ghana will certainly be the poorer for having a judiciary that cannot protect them against the overweening power of the executive. Another class of citizens on whom there will be hardship is the class of persons who have made the decision to serve the country in the role of judges. Perhaps they may be forced to rethink their their options and career choices if removing the head of the constitution of if removing the head of the if removing the head of the institution is no more difficult. But maybe was it perhaps they may be forced to rethink their options and career choices if removing the head of the institution is no more difficult than removing a class prefect of a school from office. Where Professor Henrietta Mensah Bunsu, JSC, Justice of the Supreme Court. But over to me a year fish. Mamina se ma walkan e wo sa case e beto manim ni se e wo se Ghana mrade kire se wo ye jaja na se beto wanim a e so wutimi di ne pai so abrawu mfa ehu umfa suro ana odo bia wo de ma obi ana busu asem na amfosem classmate sem old boysm enye no a ne mo mpere ye na constitution bo obi ya ho ban te se the boy judge for ho ban na momon ba asem ba bia asem akodri just talk no asem no work you ba bia akodri se judge for mpontimi emo mo ho ban emfri abasa emo odin te se President Mahama abasa no se judge for mpo entimi mo ho modin a na mene amina mene wazamati mene emfa mene jesi se judge for entimi emo mo ho ban dia enye natimamufo ebeye den wose de saye ni hu Professor Henrietta Mensah Bunsu wose de saye ni hu pa ne se de ye judge fuin especially de ye message Freddy say tokunu ebema enipa bia na komadwe se dachi bi opeso ye judge no obi jan because abasa mu odin ebetima yi wadi abra asempapa bi eni hwe de atoso enti o se career options obo mo ko school no wasem na person be judge wase ebeba nkofo bi ko po judge adwuma no because of the Mahama e de Justice Tokuno no wase the ekoso no I say we person we use a class prefect group edia efo embre chen say ube chief justice edi very deep wase ekwakura di chief justice efa so no te say efo kwa chen say ube class prefect edi na wo yi class prefect edi I say edin chen say under this government ube chief justice edi te say de aye Justice Tokuno no ya abreho na mekuta constitution wa ha mamen ko baby men kan kese kituwa bi where exercise of discretionary power 1992 constitution no article 296 say ya mautumi a ya wotumi so be decide say meko benkum meko nifa menye hwe ya 1992 constitution akere kwan kora obetima use exercise of discretion article 296 memory kakra was saying where in this constitution or in any other law discretionary power is vested in any person or authority that discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid, that exercise of discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased either by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike, and shall be in accordance with due process of law. And C, where the person or authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this constitution or that other law to govern the exercise of discretionary power. A and B, very, very relevant. That it shall not be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. Personal dislike, arbitrary. The President Mahama about war position as some kind no say one the oba was so page judiciary no it was ban or personal dislike for Justice Tokuno or personal dislike Chief Justice no it was the teams of both be unity enti one more committee members say tia penfo tete so no omo de minimum nyasemo omo they are being used as conveyor belt, they are being used as tools to implement. President Mahama is the enabler. Or no, and was said and a warrior the warrior. Nanyasa, many petitions in Miensa. Miensa no, President Mahama pushing Miensa Bramo say, Mokota Miensa no so. A different petitions, different dates. Yate committee. Afemo koya, musiye baako. Na mas mo bia botai. Kama address every fie say baako na ye wie ye no ye de command president baako no enough ye gi maame nedi. What about the other two? Away. What about the other two? Eti yate commission ni committee bebre wo Ghana yate a omo invite institution baako omo ni di komo wi a do they conclude do they issue a report on it and submit it to the president? I was gone. See it ye hu commission no. Omo ye ni nyina wie ya ansa no mo de omo recommendations the full report no come president. Na so issue white paper to so en one no. Ba wo de ka no musa police for no the police for report to call adeche fire service from mo de ko sa na ye no because of prejudices ya e wo constitution prejudices constitution aka article 296. President Mahama in opposition had prejudices against Justice Tokuno. He had it. What meaning no? And then my men court lawyer for at my church a chamber munya that no mon church as a muni ninkomo. The answer say adie de aye mame no. Misro the executive has waged a coup d'etat against the judiciary. The executive led by President Mahama omo wage coup d'etat against the judiciary. And now omanya corroborators omanya enkofo bi wom ewo judiciary mu na ye na eya no chief justice bi oba Ghana da bia eya na petition bi kodo so ya na president no mu take asem ne sen unkwa de koye na enkofo bi wo Supreme Court ma they couldn't wait to see the back of justice, the chief justice Tokuno. They couldn't wait. Etebe mo se yentem fabra ni enyima menadi misro said MPP gba abamu a menim by the time adoma ma beze no chief justice say MPP so ba abamu a na say chief justice appointed by the outgone president John Mahama said o ide ne beka abusafo aha movement television se fam god na sabidia kom